So we already know the vertex form. The vertex form is good to find the minimum or maximum. Again, the vertex will be h comma c there, and h is going to be the opposite of what's inside the bracket. Today, we're going to study about the factored form. The factored form is y is equal to a x plus or minus r multiplied by x plus or minus s. What is the factored form good for? The factored form, these inside are my zeros, or we call them roots. That's when the function crosses the x-axis. So if I have a graph here, and I have a quadratic, where the quadratic hits the x-axis, these are called zeros or roots. And normally, with a quadratic, you can have a maximum of 2 roots. Okay? And a minimum of 1 root or 0 roots. Well, my autofocus is everywhere. So, in this case, we have 2 roots. You can find the roots. How can I find the roots? Let's do an example. If I have y is equal to 4x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 4, you can find the roots by looking right here and here. So the roots are x minus 2. You're going to set that to 0 and solve for x. So therefore, 1 root is equal to 2. And if I have x plus 4, you set that equal to 0 and solve for it. We have x is equal to negative 4. So therefore, if this was my equation, we have a root here at negative 4 and 2. And this value here for a, it just shows you the compression. So again, factored form are good for finding the zeros. Now, let me just make this a little bit better so you guys can see me better. The zeros are always in the middle of the vertex. They're always in the middle of the vertex. So you can actually find the location of our vertex by finding the middle of our zeros. Okay? The vertex will be equal to 2 plus minus 4 divided by 2. It'll be equal to the middle point right here. We want to find that part. So right here we're going to get negative 2 divided by 2. We're going to get negative 1. Okay? So I guess I didn't draw my graph right. This vertex should be over here. Okay? So this would be your vertex. And then if I know that's the x value of my vertex, if I want to find out how far this is, you can substitute this value into your original equation to solve for that. Okay? So we can find the vertex. The equation for the vertex is just r plus s divided by 2. Put a box, and this is the vertex location. Okay? That will determine the x value of your vertex. Let's have a try. So this is the x value, and then you have to solve for the y value of that to find the vertex. Each are different. This equation in vertex form is good for finding the minimum or maximum. Okay, you can find it from the guy in the bracket and the C. Factor form is good if I want to find out the zeros. Example number 1. Example number 1. I want you to sketch y is equal to 2x plus 1, x minus 7. That's the problem that we have to do. Sketch this. The first thing that you're going to do, step 1, find the zeros. You set these equal to 0, so the zeros are x are equal to what? Billy, what is one of the zeros? What is one of the zeros?
X is equal to -1.
Yeah? And what's the other 0?
7.
Is equal to positive 7. So then, what you're going to do, you must sketch. Sketch means that you don't need graph paper. If it says graph, you use the graph paper. So this will be x and y. Is we put those 2 points on. Put a dot. -1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put a dot. Step 1, find zeros. Step 2, we need to find the vertex. We can find out the vertex by using this equation. The vertex is equal to r plus s divided by 2. So we have -1 plus 7 divided by 2. Eva, what do we get for the vertex? Eva?
I think she's stuck.
Oh, she went somewhere. Okay, Harrison, what is the vertex? This is 6 divided by, yeah?
3.
It's 3. Therefore, we know that at 1, 2, 3, draw a dotted line. This is the line of symmetry. We know the location of that. The line of symmetry is when x is equal to 3, that is the line of symmetry. Okay? Now we need to find out how far are we down here or up there. So what you're going to do is sub 3 into the equation. I'm going to call this equation 1. And we're going to solve for y. We're going to find out the output. So my original equation is y is equal to 2. And we're going to put 3 for x. So it's going to be 3 plus 1. Bruce, can you put this in? What do we get? 3 minus 7. What is the output here? What do we get? What is the y output? Minus 32. Okay? So, therefore, the vertex, this point right here, is 3 comma negative 32. After I have we need a minimum of 3 points to graph my quadratic. After I have my quadratic, I can graph. The only other point that I could use is the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? I could use the y-intercept. To find out the y-intercept, you just set x equal to 0. So set x equal to 0. So therefore we're going to have 2 times 1, negative 7. We get negative 14. So we have negative 14 is the thing. Okay? So you have that. The last thing that you do is sketch plus label the graph. So we can label this graph. Therefore this equation, this graph is y is equal to 2, x plus 1, x minus 7. Oh, you can't really see that, but I've labeled that. So that's how we can graph factor form. Again, find the two zeros, find the midpoint. When you know the midpoint, you know the line of symmetry. You put the line of symmetry into the original equation to find out your minimum or maximum value. In this, we found it. And then when we have a minimum of 3 points, you can sketch the graph, and that's what it's looking. That what it will look like.